of all those questions. He will get to yours. Just be patient. Proceed, IG.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. This question was actually asked by Honorable Senator Medo, as to why I did interdict these officers, because these were the officers who were on duty there. And we wanted to ensure that once the IPOA takes over, the investigations are smooth and there is no one who is going to interfere with those investigations. That's why we wanted them to step aside and allow free investigation, because we wanted expeditious investigations to be carried out. We want to know who is this or who are these who committed that heinous crime. And we want to know it as quickly as possible. There was the question from for Bonne Harwere. That one has been answered by my CS. Then the question from Honorable Senator Manzayo, why Albert Ojwang was arrested in Homa Bay and why he had to be transported up to Nairobi. This question, the DCI is going to answer it very, 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 very clearly as to the reasons why he was transported from Homa Bay up to Nairobi. But basically, it is because in Nairobi, that is where the offense was actually committed. But DCI is going to give more details on that. Why the CCTVs were again interfered with? That is another question that was also asked by Senator Masayo. The Independent Police Oversight Authority is investigating the entire scene of crime. And they are going to tell us exactly what happened with the CCTVs. And if there is anyone who was involved in that, then punishment must be meted to an officer of that nature. So the same case applies to the question, who are these police officers who committed the crime of murder to the late Albert Ojwang? Again, we are waiting for answers from IPOA, who are right now investigating the same. And we are looking forward to the resolution of that issue soonest possible, because it's something that have actually captured the entire country into what happened on that date. The question from Honorable Senator Kajwang. Now, this question of withdrawing and apologizing to the Senate and the country on the question of the late Ojwang, Ojwang having committed, hit his head on the walls. I think, as I said from the word go, we allow the IPOA to investigate, and they are going to give us concrete answers, because I have already indicated that in the subsequent media briefings that I did, that situation was actually corrected.
IG.
On whether...
IG, you need to respond to that question in a better way. This was the question by Senator Kajwang, that through your official communication, the first information you put out there to the public was that the young man had hit his head against the wall and therefore died. Later on, after the autopsy was carried out, it was found to be totally different. The question that the senator then rose to ask was, would you, having put that communication to the public, that the young man hit his head on the wall and died, would you withdraw that particular communication and proceed to apologize to the nation? That was the question the Honorable Senator asked. If you're unable to do that, you can also, that's also an answer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. On that question, let me say this. Number one, if in the ongoing investigations by the IPOA investigators, we get to know the truth, the officers who issued the initial report that we relied upon, then they will have to face disciplinary proceedings as provided for by the regulations by providing incorrect information. So we are awaiting the outcome of the investigations of IPOA in that.
IG, we've had the benefit of hearing the representative of IPOA in the morning, and they were very categorical on what caused the death of this young man. What more do you want to hear?
Mr. Speaker, sir, from what we have heard here from the IPOA, although we have not yet gotten that report, we will proceed on and take appropriate measures on the officer who gave the primary report on that material day.
We have taken note. IG, proceed.
Then there was also the second question.
Honorable Senators, I think we are doing pretty well now. We are doing very well. What is your intervention, Honorable Mungatana? Now, IG, the reason why you are attracting a lot of intervention is because you do not want to open up and just tell the senators exactly what happened. We are here to hear the truth. Just give us the truth, and there'll be minimal interventions. Proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I have a lot of respect for the current IGP, in fact, a very professional police officer, but I wanted to remind him, the Constitution has given us, under Article 238, the principles of national security. And Mr. Speaker, on 238(2)(c), it says, in performing the functions and exercising their powers, national security organs shall respect the diverse culture of the communities within Kenya. And Honorable Senator Kajwang has said, to imply suicide from his cultural background, it is attracting a huge stigmatization of that family. So I'm inviting the IGP to offer an unconditional apology to the Senate in view of the post-mortem report that has been made public. And then we proceed, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, I think Mungatana is clear. IG.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, sir. It is true, as Senator Mungatana has said, that going by the report that we have gotten from IPOA, that it is not true, he did not hit his head against the wall, but that is the report that we had from the word go. I tell my apology on behalf of the National Police Service because of that information. So there was also the question of how the police are trained. That question was clearly answered by my CS. He also did mention that funds is also another constraint that has been been delivering the National Police Service to enable us to train everybody within the service. Then there was also the question of how many were in the cell. There was also the question of how many were in the cell where Albert was held. Again, Mr. Speaker, sir, this question again will also be answered very clearly in the investigations by the IPOA of how many were actually in that cell. The questions by Senator Omugeni. As I have indicated, I myself am a parent. My other senior level commanders, they are all parents. By losing Ojwang, it pains me, it pains them. It is not right to lose them in a police cell. Now, when he arrived, or when he was brought in from Homabay, he was given an opportunity to call his family back home. As I did indicate from my statement that I was providing, where he did indicate to his wife that they had reached Central Police Station safely and he was safe. So that one confirms that when he reached Central Police Station, he was all right, by his own statement to his own family, that he was fine. So the second question is about why was Ojwang booked alone in the cells. As I have indicated there earlier, this is something that we are going to be provided with answers by the investigating agency, because these are some of the questions that it must answer. The questions that were raised by Honorable Senator Wabua.
IG, you 2 minutes ago you're doing fairly well, but I can see there's a relapse. The question was, why was this young man booked alone in a cell? And your response, if I got you correctly, is that matter is under investigation.
Yes.
Really, is that your response?
Yes. The matter is to establish the correct position.
Senator Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, I'm assuming that the IG is proceeding sequentially, and he has conveniently avoided two questions that I asked. And that was why the Deputy Inspector General of Police is still in office when he was very quick to interdict or to give directives for junior officers to be out on the basis of the proximate cause theory. And I also asked a very specific question that came out of his submission, that there were other names. There were other 4 persons of interest. Are they alive? Or are they in a ditch somewhere? Are they at City Mortuary? He's supposed to tell us that if he's going sequentially. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed, IG.
In regard to the question that was asked by Honorable Senator Kajwang about whether to reassure the House that all the 4 that were mentioned are alive. I'm going to give an answer, but the rest of the details will also be provided for by the DCI. To say this, there was one suspect who was arrested, and by that time he had been placed at Kamukhoji police station. When the file went before the ODPP raised issues that needed to be covered. Thereafter, the suspect was set free until such a time when the file goes back to the ODPP and he gives his recommendations. As for the rest, none of them had been arrested. So we believe they are still out there. About why the DIG is still in the office, the reason why I did not go back to that question, it is because the CS had given actually an answer on the same. He did respond.
Yes, proceed, IG. Proceed. We need to save on time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. So that question of why Ojwang was booked alone in the cells, as I have answered right now. We are saying.
Honorable Senators, the IG has responded to that question. His answer may not be satisfactory, but it's an answer. That is what he replied. Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. The questions that were raised by Honorable Senator Wabua. He first of all registered displeasure of the absence of the chair IPOA. I think that one was recorded. The questions that were directed to the AG is when at the Central Police Station, Albert was booked again alone in the cell. And I have answered that question there before. I have answered the question.
IG, can you repeat your response to that question so that it's clear?
My response to that question, I have indicated that why he was booked in that cell alone, it is something that we need the investigating team to also let us know, because there are a number of cells that are at the Central Police Station. And now, at that particular time, I don't have the figures of those who are actually under the custody of those cells. But in the investigation, in the course of the investigations, we are going to get out the answers very, very clearly, Honorable Speaker.
IG, your CS has tabled the police standing orders, which are very clear on how to handle a suspect, book him in, and all that. Under what circumstances, and that is what the senators would wish to know, under what circumstances can a suspect be put in a solitary confinement? And did this young man fit the description so as to be put in a solitary confinement?
Honorable Speaker, once again, thank you very much. The CS have actually tabled the standard operating procedures through which the procedure that the police follow actually when someone is being placed in the cells, somebody has been arrested, brought in, the recording of the OBs, the recording actually in the cell register, and the number of even those suspects that are held in a particular cell is also very clear. So what I am not very, very sure of as at now is, and I'm looking forward to the investigation of the IPOA, why is it that he was alone in that cell? Is it that we had more cells? Is it that we did not have others who are there? So we are waiting for that question from IPOA.
Proceed, IG. Honorable Senators, let him conclude. We'll get better responses from IPOA. But before you proceed, IG, what's your intervention, Senator Andago?
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I just needed some small clarification, Honorable Speaker. I thought in the morning I heard the IPOA say, in the progress they have made, they have also recorded a statement from one of the detainees. And maybe the clarification is, was that detainee in the same cell with Ojwang? So that the question of whether Ojwang was actually in the cell alone. Can we marry the two? Because IPOA is here and police is here.
Yes, proceed, IG.
Then there was also this question, again from Honorable Senator Wabua, which he asked, how did the OCS confirm Albert Ojwang was fine when he was booked in? So again, that question goes back to the earlier question that I had answered, that when he reached the police station, when he was brought in at the Central Police Station, he was given an opportunity to talk to his spouse, where he did confirm that they had arrived safely and he is fine. And that record is actually in the occurrence book. And it was done by those officers who are at the report office at the Central Police Station. So that is actually the confirmation that he was fine when he reached the police station.
Certainly, it cannot be a point of order, Senator Anyonka. You may put forth your intervention.
Thank you. IG, there's a gentleman who was the OCPD of that police station at Central, Mr. Benjamin Talam. Are you aware that he refused to book Mr. Ojwang when he was brought in, and that is why he was taken to the hospital? And in today's newspaper, he said he refused to accept him because the condition in which he was in, he would not have been accepted into the cells according to his training.
Mr. Speaker, sir, according to the information that I have, the late Albert Ojwang was booked in at the police station, Central Police Station, at 9:35 hours in the evening, and placed in the cells. Then the OCS, who is responsible for that station, was informed of the same. So the other one from the Honorable Senator, that one I'm not aware.
Honorable Senators, let's. I'm taking note, and Senator Wambua, I'll come back to you. Just run through the questions that you have. For those ones that we feel are not satisfactorily answered, we will certainly have an opportunity, Senator Boni. Just proceed. Yes, Senator Boni.
Mr. Speaker, the public and the Senate are expecting that the witnesses we have this afternoon will shed light. And that light can only come out of the quality of the evidence that they are adducing. Mr. Speaker, there is something called a hostile witness. When a witness deliberately, with due respect to Kanja, either becomes economical with the truth or attempts to evade a question, he's being hostile. What is the value of this exercise if the IG, who is supposed to have convinced himself on how Ojwang was handled, how can he be the same one now deflecting that responsibility to IPOA? He's supposed to give evidence in the same manner he'll give to IPOA when IPOA will call him to appear before them, Mr. Speaker.
I know, honorable senators, the beauty of this is that we have all the players before us. He has shifted the burden to IPOA. IPOA is right before us. They will take to this stand, and they will go through exactly the responses that have been put forth by the IG. If the IPOA representative wasn't here, then a lot would have left hanging. So, honorable senators, let us be patient. Let us be patient. Let us be patient. Proceed.
Much, Honorable Speaker. Maybe I can just read a small part of my earlier statement. That
just pick the question and respond so that we move.
So the question that had been asked here is, I would like to reply as follows. When they arrived at Central Police Station in Nairobi at approximately 21:17 hours, and at 21:24 hours, Mr. Albert Ojwang contacted his wife via mobile number that is also provided there to inform her of his safe arrival. Chief Inspector Taram, the officer commanding the police station, was contacted through his mobile phone. The number is also provided, and they authorized the booking of PC Mohammed Rashid Hiro Abdurai booked the suspect into the cells after confirming his normal physical and mental state was okay. Filed OB number 136/07/06/2025, which was done at 21:35 hours. That is the information that I have, Honorable Speaker, on that note. There was also the question of who interfered with the CCTV cameras at the station. Honorable Speaker, this question is amongst the many questions that the investigating agency who are actually looking, who deals with matters, criminal activities by police, to give us an answer on that one, so that we can actually now be able to take appropriate measures with anyone who interfered with the normal settings of the CCTVs around that station. There was also the question from Honorable Senator Veronica. The first question was, who deleted the Albert X account? Again, this question is going to be answered very clearly by the DCI. Who interfered with the CCTV cameras, and whether there is a backup of the same. So on the CCTV cameras, Honorable Speaker, is as I've indicated that we are waiting for the investigations to let us know who is it that actually did that kind of interference. On the issue of whether we have a backup or not, we have already given some experts an assignment on that, and we are going to get that report very soon when we are still here. And then the last one is that question of all police officers must at all times ensure that the rights of the suspects are respected. That is our standard operating procedures. For those who defeated away from that, then they must face the full wrath of the law. That is our position. That the officers, police officers must at all times respect the rights and freedoms of the people, whether they are suspects or not. I'm saying this because, Honorable Senator, police officers are at the forefront in the defense of the rights and freedoms of the people. So any officer who turns against that, he goes against the same law that he is supposed to protect. And they are, all of them, they are aware, out there in all the stations, in all the deployment throughout the Republic, that the rights of suspects, the rights of the other Kenyans must be protected at all times. So as I have said, anyone who goes against that, then he must face the full wrath of the law. The questions from Honorable Senator Duro. Honorable Duro requested that I provide all the documentary evidences of the letters that the DIG did to the DCI. We have them, and I want to promise that by tomorrow, when we are attending the Committee of Senate, we will be having those documents with us. She did ask the same question: why does the police have to drive all the way from Homa Bay, the suspect from Homa Bay to Nairobi? That is, as I have answered there earlier, and the DCI is also going to give additional details on the same. The questions by Senator Abbas, Honorable Senator Abbas. Again, he was actually asking the same question, that there are several police stations along the line that the suspects was, driven from Homa Bay to Nairobi. There are many police stations along the line. So the question is, why is it that he could not be placed in any of these police stations along that transport corridor? My answer is, as earlier stated, that number one, the offense was committed in Nairobi, and that is actually the area of jurisdiction. That is basically the reason why the suspect was actually brought to Nairobi. Then there was also this question from Honorable Senator Haji, where he asked, why is it that the investigations could not be conducted elsewhere where the suspect was arrested? So the answer to that question is that the offense was again committed in Nairobi. That is the reason why the suspect was driven from Homa Bay to Nairobi. The last bit, where Honorable Senator Newto, he asked, why is it that the investigations have been done so fast? So again, he wanted to know who actually killed the late Albert Ojwang. As I had answered there earlier, Honorable Senator, I'm eagerly waiting to know, amongst those officers who are on duty or any other officer who are involved in that transaction, who is it that did, or who is it, or who are they that are involved in the cold-blooded murder of Albert Ojwang. There's this question of since when did the police start assessing the well-being of suspects? That question, if you look at our occurrence book, it has got several columns. And in one of the columns, there is the physical state and also even the weather. So we do indicate in that particular column, how is the suspect looking like? Even the weather, if it is raining, we say it is raining. If it is chilly, it is cold. So they are there, they are provided for in that occurrence book, Honorable Senator. So it is on that basis, after he also spoke with the spouse, it was also confirmed that he did confirm that I'm okay and I have arrived safely in Nairobi. So based on that, the OB recorder recorded the same in the occurrence book. And it is there actually to be seen by everybody. The last question from Honorable Senator Nyutu was again, why was Ojwang transported all the way from Homa Bay to Nairobi?
Yeah, you've already responded to that.
I have already responded to that.
This is the 10th time. Just pick a new one and you conclude IG so that we hear IPOA.
Honorable Speaker, thank you very much. I'm already through with the questions. Thank you.
Just hold on IG. I think that few questions that you may have noted down. Just remind the IG of your question.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, you ask, and if you ask and you're not answered, so it's fair that we remind the IG the questions that have not been answered. When IG, I asked a very specific question on the events of the 5th of June. That was a very specific question, and I don't want to repeat the question. I'm sure it has rung back in your mind that I said that on the 5th of June, so much happened, and the officers were in Kisii by 12:55. That question I had asked, and you have not answered. And finally, why you chose Bagadia and not Kenyatta National Hospital? That was, yeah.
Honorable Methu, the IG responded to that question. You know, I think what you need is the second limb of Senator Methu's question, is that the time computation does not add up. What do you say to that?
For that one, Honorable Speaker, the DCI have got a unit that deals with serious crimes. And in that unit, although he is going to give details on that one, in that unit, he has those who records the statements, those who are investigating on other bits of, every continuing investigations. So that's the reason why you find that once it has been confirmed, for example, by the CAK, has been confirmed by the EACC, then there is this team that moves immediately and effects, for example, the arrest. So that is basically the reason why you find that it is really not the same team that is seated at the DCI there that is doing all that, but it is one unit. So the information is passed to the other teams that are there.
Honorable Methu, I think he has passed the buck to IPOA and DCI. Exactly. So wait until DCI or IPOA, then they may be able to take that. So, honorable senators, let us now have IPOA take the stand.